No, I did not make it in my pants. This is a paid request for Lucas. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, full playthrough, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. So this is for Teen Con from 2005. One more. I know I sound like Napoleon Dynamite. Okay. So Peter Jackson made this. I liked his early work. Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, Dead Alive, The Frighteners. When he got more into these epic 3-hour CGI-filled blockbusters, his version of they were never for me. I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy. I have never been. I've seen those 3 films. For me personally, I thought they were boring. I know a lot of people disagree. That's fine. It's just not my cup of tea. It's not my kind of movie. I did not bother to see the Hobbit films because I did not like the Lord of the Rings films. This one, I remember I saw this in a theater back in the day with a friend of mine. His name was Roger. We got off from work, and we decided, you know what, let's go see a movie. Okay, Teen Con's playing, why not? So we see the movie, and I love the original Teen Con, the 1930s. I think that's a really good film. One of my favorite films of the 30s. I think that's a classic. Fay Ray, the music, the stop motion, I love it. The 70s Teen Con is what it is. Not to take or leave it. Also, for the future, Lucas also did request from... He requested me to re-review Kong Skull Island. I still really enjoy that film. That film, I think, is a lot of fun, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, at this point, I'm like, okay, I like the original Teen Con. Let's see how this goes. I did not know it would be 3 hours long. It takes a whole fucking hour just to get to Skull Island. And the one thing me and my friend would talk about after the film, driving back, was he skated on the ice. They danced on the ice. What the fuck? Like, her and the girl just danced on the ice like it's the ice capades. What the shit? Why is King Kong and the girl dancing on the ice like it's... like Christy Yamaguchi's gonna come out and dance with them? This ain't Blades of Glory. What the fuck is this shit? And Blades of Glory hadn't even come out yet, but this ain't the Cutting Edge. What the fuck? Why is it the Cutting Edge now? Why is it... We just kept laughing about that scene over and over again. We're just dumbfounded. And we're just talking on the road by the right by the... He spent all this money and have a fucking scene where King Kong and the girl are dancing in the ice capades, looking like they're ready to smoke some monkey pole. Or at least she is. Now, this film did not do the best. It made $218 million US, worldwide $556 million. Now, maybe with video sales, DVD sales, people paying for broadcast rights, maybe with that they were able to do okay business-wise. But it wasn't the mega blockbuster like the Lord of the Rings stuff. And I know a lot of people really do like this film. I just thought it was very disappointing. I never liked this film. I think, number one, let's go to the casting. I think a lot of this movie is miscast. Naomi, I like Naomi Watts as Anne. She does fine. She does fine. I like her as an actress. I don't think the script does her any favors, but she's not the problem. Of the casting, that one I don't mind. And I mean, you guys know the plot of King Kong. I don't know if I need to go into the plot that in depth. Jack Black as the director, and in this movie, he did this documentary and he's showing it to people, and they're pissed off because they feel it's a waste of money. And Jack Black has his idea to take this ship and go do this thing, and they're not having it. So Jack Black takes the film that he has. The studio wants that back. He takes the film and he rushes to the ship. And he's really adamant to get this film made. And they're going to go find Skull Island. Jack Black was not ready for this role. He was terribly miscast. Even, there's many people who like the film who even say Jack Black was miscast. He tries to be serious, he fails. He tries to be kind of an antagonist, he fails. I don't take him seriously, being demented, or being... Listen, there's a lot of comedians that can do drama fairly well. Robin Williams, 1 Hour Photo, Good Will Hunting. What Dreams May Come is a very good film. Jim Carrey, The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, good movie. Bits of The Truman Show, he could do it. Jack Black can't. At least so far in the stuff I've seen, no. I haven't seen him capable of doing that, especially at this point. I think this was above his pay grade, acting-wise. He did not fit. He stuck out like a sore thumb. Each time you look at him, you can't help but just wait for him to be funny. If this was someone like a John Candy, I could buy him more. If this is someone like a John Goodman, which it's not the same, but kind of what he does in Skull Island, I could buy him more. Jack Black, not so much. Adam Sandler has done it. Spaceman, Punch Drunk Love, even that film Basketball and Hustle. Uncut Gems, man. He really did in Uncut Gems a really good job. Jack Black, though, I don't buy him. I can't take him seriously. I cannot take him seriously. So I don't know why he was cast in that role. Adrien Brody as the screenwriter who Naomi Watts has heard of, is a fan. Eventually, Adrien Brody's writing the script. He, from some other shenanigans because of Jack Black, he doesn't get off the ship in time, so he's going to ride along to whatever destination they're going to, and while he's there, he's going to keep writing and rewriting the script. And throughout the first hour of the movie, listen, I did it. They want to develop and build up characters. Take your time. Well, they took their sweet-ass fucking time, and I thought it was fucking boring. Now, I'll give you the visuals on old New York look good. The old-timey New York, the buildings that have not been constructed yet and in the middle of being constructed, and the wide cityscape shots that show New York of that time period. But also give a little bit of that, fantastical look too. I thought looked good. They looked fairly good. Even 2005 they looked fairly good. Naomi Watts, she's his Broadway star, and the place she works at closes down. She doesn't know what to do next. Jack Black, I told you about what's happened with her. Well, what's happened with him, I should say. Jack Black sees what Naomi Watts, how she looks, enraptured with her, makes her an offer. They go to the ship. Adrien Brody, like I said, he's on the ship. I don't know why he needed to write on the ship. I mean, okay, you're a writer. Why do you have to write on the ship? Like, you could write from home, go and then deliver the script to him, to his office, whatever, but I don't know why he needed to be on the ship to write the fucking script. Especially if it's like, what, 15 pages? And say that he was just waiting for him. Why don't you just leave the pages there in his room? These are the pages. Good luck. Fuck off. Just leave them there. Like, you didn't have to stay there to deliver the shit. It's like, well, we have to find a way for him to stay here until it's too late and he can't leave. Adrien Brody, I don't think he's a romantic lead. I don't. I did not buy the chemistry between him and Naomi Watts. I did not find much romantic chemistry. I did not find much enriching romance between the two. I didn't. I also didn't understand how her character is such a fan of this writer that he's... Not only has she read the books, but she's looked at his picture. But then she sees this other guy and immediately thinks, oh, that must be him. It's like, you look so different from your picture. I'm like, why do you think this guy is the writer? She just turns, she sees a random guy and goes, that must be the writer. And I'm like, why? And you've seen his picture. Because she even goes, you don't look like your picture. I'm like, yeah. Because this guy has not done nothing to say that he's the fucking writer, lady. Yeah, you look like a fool. But yeah, I didn't buy the chemistry between the two. And hell, at times, it felt like she was more in love with Khan than Adrien Brody. And that's what's crazy. I don't want to say this, but I bought her enraptured in love with Khan was more believable than her attempted love with Adrien Brody. There is weirdly more chemistry between her and Khan. I that's what it feels like to me. That she loved Khan more and she was more in love with Khan and there was more sparks flying between her and Khan than her and Adrien Brody. And then all these other side characters. There's this guy and this younger guy. The younger guy is actually Jamie Bell, who starred in this film, Billy Elliot. He was the Thane in the 2015 Fantastic Four film. You have Kyle Chandler, who's this he's this action movie star, adventure movie star, who is part of the group. He's going to be the star of the Jack Black film. Part of me is like, Kyle Chandler should have played the Adrien Brody part. Or just combine the two. Just combine Kyle Chandler and Adrien Brody. Just combine the two. That's the thing, you didn't need both parts. You just combine them and have the same one guy in that. Kyle Chandler, I would buy more than Adrien Brody. Or you know what? Someone like a Bruce Campbell. If you had like a Bruce Campbell as this old-timey like action star, and like she likes him, but then you're not really like him, and he gets scared like anybody else, but then he shows his courage and he could really throw that 1930s action, behavior. Maybe approaching a little bit of camp. But yeah, I think like Bruce Campbell would have been a good choice. I did Kyle Chandler. I like more than Adrien Brody. Again, he should have been more the lead. But I thought it was a boring build up, boring setup, took too long, lackluster romance, side characters I didn't give a shit. Like there's an Asian guy who's just kind of there to not do much. Andy Serkis, he's also, I think he worked as Khan, but he's also an actor in the film as well. I can't remember. I think he worked as Khan, like the motion capture. I think, but I know he's one of the people on the crew. I'm like, not all these characters are really that interesting. So you just watch and you're going, why are we not at fucking Paul's God? It's a fucking hour long, man. Where the fuck are we going to get there? So when I saw this in the theater, it was such a slow build up. And I'm like, I'm not really caring for this casting, the casting choices in this film. So then they get to the island. And sometimes this movie has bits of weird tone. Where, okay, in the same film, on the one hand, you have Naomi Watts trying to get Khan to laugh. So she does her like vaudeville act and juggling and pretend to fall like she's Charlie Chaplin. So the Khan go oop, 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 oop. Or you have what was wrong? The fucking ice capades. On the flip side, you have savages that look like they're trying to be out of damn Cannibal Holocaust. And one guy gets speared. I'm like, God damn, man. They do this weird slow-mo, but it's like a stutter. Like, which I think that's a very ugly version of slow-mo. I mean, there's a slow-mo that John Woo does. But here, it's more just like the camera stuttering. I just didn't think it looked that good. One of them gets killed, the others gets attacked. Some of the crew member comes with guns. They save them, bring them back to the boat. The people on the island go. They take the girl. Rescue mission to get the girl. Khan comes in, grabs the girl, runs off. The CGI on Khan and the dinosaurs. It's 2005. I'm not really that it is what it is. I was never in love with it. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the worst ever, because that'd be a lie. But I mean, it is what it is. I do take into account it was 2005 when they did it, to be fair. I just don't like the design of Khan. It was just a big gorilla. I get that's the idea. But I think of King Kong like a design. Like when I think of Godzilla, I just don't think a big fucking lizard. Now, I love Godzilla in 1998. But I can agree that design is not Godzilla. In name only, sure. But the rest of the film I do enjoy as a big monster movie. Just a fun, dumb popcorn movie. And I mentioned that because there's another one Lucas wants me to review sometime. But yeah, I just don't care for the big gorilla design. He's like a silverback gorilla or whatever. I much prefer the design he had in the original or Constal Island. It just, okay, he looks like a big gorilla. It just, nothing about that really made it seem that unique to him, other than his size. Hell, I was more impressed by Mighty Joe Young because that came out a few years before this, and a lot of that was done practically. I think Rick Baker or something. Like, there's a lot of shots in Mighty Joe Young where it's a practical effect, and that really gave him character, and I like that film. I like that film more than this. Both the original Mighty Joe Young I liked, and this one I mean the remake with Bill Paxton I liked. But I was never big on the design of King Kong in this. It just looked very kind of blasé. Okay, it's a gorilla, but it's a big fucking gorilla. Okay. Yeah, just for Kong, I expect just more unique look to him. The action scenes, I thought the stampede with the brontosaurus always was cringeworthy to me. I always thought it looked ridiculous because, yes, some people do get killed, but it's pretty much the red shirts, as in you know Star Trek. Kurt, Spot, McCoy, and Sam. You guys go to the planet. I don't think Sam's going to make it. He's got a red shirt. It's like, okay, the people not going to make it are the people you don't fucking know who they are. And at least in the Stampede. But it's like all this CGI brontosaurs, dinosaurs, and going on top of each other. I'm like, nobody should survive this fucking Stampede. With how big and how, like, everybody, they're all climbing on top of each other. There's like no way anybody should survive this, especially when someone shoots and they start fumbling around. And these are fumbling around and bouncing around like CGI ping pong balls, like the damn animal orgy. Blah, 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 blah. It looked ridiculous. It looked silly. It looked fucking stupid to me. I mean, how the hell did that guy survive, and how the hell did he survive? None of you should survive. It just looked ridiculous. Excess. A big amount of excess. Khan as the girl, after a time, for some reason she gets the idea to start doing her vaudeville act, pretending to fall, and then kind of doing her dancing. And I remember like King Kong's looking at her with a confused face, and I had the same confused face when I saw this in the theater. He's like, and I'm like in the theater going, because we're both thinking, both of us are thinking, what the fuck is this? Is the bitch doing? What's she doing? What is this character doing? I don't know what the hell this character's doing. What's the character doing? Why did she all of a sudden think all this vaudeville ads don't make him love me? Was there something I missed that set that up? That Kong loved the vaudeville? Charlie Chaplin type of shit? I'm as confused as Kong is. Better worse. And it also tries to do the thing where it wants to have Khan as a formidable threat killing a bunch of people, but then you want to have him be the hero, and then you want to have be the tragic figure. And that could be a tough thing to do. You really have to do that with some finesse. Because on the one hand, these people are going to save this lady, and here's a big creature that has done nothing but show animosity. So of course they're shooting at Khan. Then Khan kills a bunch of humans by this tree, and the rest of them fall with this tree down to the scene with the bugs. Meanwhile, the next scene, now Khan, you want him to be a hero, saving the girl from not one, two, but 3 T-Rexes. So it's okay, he's killing all these people, but then now he's the big hero fighting 3 T-Rexes to save this girl. And it's like, I get it. It's hell, I like Kong Skull Island, and when they appear in the helicopters, Kong, kills some of them with the tree to the helicopter. But for some reason, it didn't bother me as much in that film. I don't know why. Maybe it's They're coming in choppers. He's like, what the hell are these guys doing on my land? Get the fuck out. I don't know. For some reason, it didn't bother me as much in Collister Island. I don't know. Maybe I was enjoying the film more, so sometimes what will bother me in one film, I'll let go of another film. I don't know. But then, yeah, they really try to make Khan a hero with that. And I know a lot of people talk about that scene. What about the scene where he fights the three T-Rexes? Okay, that's an hour and 45 minutes into the film. An hour and 45 minutes. So I can appreciate the choreography of him fighting the three T-Rexes. The CGI is of its time. Again, I'm not big on the designs, but and with the CGI, the animals kind of move. They kind of move a little bit like rubbery. But I mean, I can appreciate the choreography of the movements. Even if you want to give that a thumbs up, that's still an hour and 45 minutes into this movie. It takes that long to get to the scene you like? So we cut back to, like, in the pit, Adrien Brody, Jack Black, Jamie Bell the Kid, I think Andy Serkis. It's the four of them, and there's all these bugs and centipedes. This is one bit where they're on Adrien Brody. Jamie Bell gets the Tommy gun, and literally he does this. He starts shooting the Tommy gun, and then in the middle he closes his eyes. It's like, I'm like, and it's a Tommy gun. The centipedes are all over Adrien Brody. He's firing. He's blind. He's not seeing. Now one bullet hits Adrien Brody. They just hit the bugs. I'm like. Also, the sound design of that was always weird, because it seems as if there should be some kind of music playing, like harrowing music getting more suspenseful. The music is rising up as they're fighting. Instead, the music's gone. It's just, like, for some reason they just took the music out and go, huh. 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 It just, I don't know, something about that seemed weird to me. Eventually, Kyle Chandler and the others come in, save them. Adrien Brody goes on his way and makes it to Naomi Watts. Gets her. Khan is pissed. There's these these birds, or were they pterodactyl? Anyway, Adrien Brody grabs on the one. Naomi Watts grabs onto him. They kind of float over. They fall into the water. They run. Because the flying. They got pretty far back, because it took them all this long to get to here, but it takes a very short time to get to there. I guess the flying was a hell of a shortcut, I guess. When they get there, Jack Black and the people have the idea to use this chloroform to knock out Khan. Khan is able to kill a few more people, but eventually he's knocked out. You cut to, it's New York. It's sometime later. Jack Black is going to have the big show. Now, Adrien Brody and Naomi Watts are not together. It never explains why that's the case. For a movie that's trying to be big on the whole romance bit between these two, they never explain why in the fuck Adrien Brody and Naomi Watts are not together. They don't explain it. Why? Okay, she's doing a show, and he's like, why? Why are they not together? Does she blame Adrien Brody for this? If so, why? What? I mean, think about this. Think about how this makes Naomi Watts' character look. This guy risked his life, hell and high water, to rescue you. to get you out of the grip of this big giant monkey, ape I should say. Fly on some birds, some pterodactyls, whatever. Land and run the fuck off. He's not helping them. He's not helping shoot Khan, chloroform Khan, whatever. If you got mad at Adrien Brody, my question would be why? He's done nothing to deserve that. And did Adrien Brody just give up on her? Maybe he knew he couldn't measure up because if she wants Khan's dick, maybe he looked down and said, I can't measure up to that. I don't fucking know. And the movie never tells you. And then at the end, he climbs a fucking ladder, they look at each other, they hug, and I'm like, why are you hugging each other? Why do you love each other now again? That doesn't, I mean, you don't do it like... That's not good writing. That is not good writing. I don't care what anyone says. It's not. They broke up and they don't explain. And then they get back together and there's really no explanation as to why. So Khan, of course, goes crazy. He's looking for the girl and he keeps tossing women. And that was unintentionally hilarious. Because each time he did that, it made me laugh. I don't think we're supposed to laugh because he's killing these women. He's murdering these innocent women. So he's tossing them, but it makes you laugh. And this is what I'm talking about with the tone. He murdered a shitload of people. In the theater, outside of New York, throwing women... He killed a shitload of people. But then after the scene where Adrien Brody gets Khan's attention to save a bus full of people, Khan hits his car, she comes in and looking all, lust, full lust. And they go into the ice and the fucking ice capades. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So we went from Khan killing a bunch of women and other people to they're laughing and skating on the ice. This ain't the cutting edge. Military attacks him. He picks up the girl. He goes up the Empire State Building. Eventually puts her in a safe spot. He tries to smash some planes. He gets shot down. Adrien Brody climbs the thing, and as soon as Khan dies, she turns, there's Adrien Brody, and they hug. I'm like, why? I know why. She had a thing for Khan. He's dead. Well, shit happens. I guess I'm single again. Oh, no, I'm not. Well, he's dead. I guess I'll settle for you. I swear to God, that's how it came off as. She had the hots for Khan. It's like Jada Pinkett. She loved Tupac. Tupac died, so she settled for Will Smith. That doesn't seem like here. Khan was her Tupac. And got shot. Just like Tupac. So I guess Anne is Jada Pinkett. I mean, that's the thing. What changed? Like, Naomi Watts, what changed now that you want to be with Adrien Brody that wasn't the case before this? Nothing's explained on that. Jack Black. It was beauty that killed the beast. I'm like, sure, Jack. Get back, Jack. Chucky's back. You know what? If they want to be ballsy, they should have done that ending that's on that. There's a PlayStation 2 game on this. I would like to play that one day. That actually looks like a fun game. I think my friend Michael Keane played it. But yeah, there's a game on this movie called King Kong. Or I think it's called Peter Jackson's King Kong. It looks like a fun game. I think if you replay it a lot and get enough points, you could get a secret ending. And the secret ending is that you fly a helicopter. I'm not a helicopter. You fly a plane, I should say, and you shoot the other planes. So you commit murder, but you save Khan. Khan climbs down, and then the ending is you and the girl flying around the island, and you brought Khan back, and King Khan survives. So then you see the plane. You do find it on YouTube. King Kong PS2 alternate ending. So go figure. I mean, there you go. You want to be ballsy to do that. That at least I would give like, okay, you did something different, and that's another thing. It's a remake, and you know me. There are remakes I enjoy, but the more that you make, it follows a lot of the beats of the original, but it took twice as long to get there. It's okay, here's the girl, and here's the guy, and here's the director. They go to the island. There's the people on the island. They steal the girl. Khan grabs her, fights the T-Rex. The rescue team get into its little fights, including the pit with the. Well, there was always that one deleted scene with the. I forget what it is. There's an interesting featurette where Peter Jackson and them talk about, and they like try to recreate there was a deleted scene. I can't remember what it is. Let me look it up real quick. King Kong. Yeah, the spider pit sequence. And Peter Jackson, being a huge fan of the film, said, you know, it'd be cool if we would use special effects and, you know, I guess you could say that's what he added from the, I don't know, what you put it, the, that he added to the remake. That they were at the bottom of the pit and they fight. It wasn't a spider, they fight these like CGI centipedes. So I guess you could say that's the thing Peter Jackson added. So I do remember seeing that I forget it might have been in the 1933 Teen Con DVD, and how like they made it and they reworked it, made it try to look like how it was done back in the day. It was an interesting process. I was more fascinated with that than this movie. But anyway, so I know Peter Jackson's a huge fan of Teen Con. And you could tell that, yes, there was some love put into this. Like, he's a big fan of the original film. It's just that for me, when I see this, I kind of sit there and go, I'd just rather watch the original. I think the original did the same stuff, but a lot quicker, a lot better paced. They kept Khan, the creature, the villain, but you can still interpret the tragedy at the end. Here, they really try to make Khan overly sympathetic. And yes, sometimes that's hard for me to deal with when he's... You know, the initial fight where it's his territory... But, and you just say it's not his fault, but it's still, you still see him kill a lot of innocent people in New York who had nothing to do with it. And yes, it's an animal, and at the end of the day, it's an animal. You blame the people that brought him there in the first place. But it's just one of those things where it's still hard for me to, you know, hell, you say the shark is just doing what the fuck he's bound to do in Jaws, but I don't sympathize with the shark when they blow it the fuck up at the end of Jaws. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Overlong, it follows the same beat, so you know where it's going. A lot of miscasting. I think Adrien Brody and Jack Black were miscast. I think the first hour is incredibly boring. You know, if you want to say him fighting the three T-Rexes, that takes an hour and 45 minutes into the film. I didn't buy the romance between Naomi and Adrien Brody. I didn't feel like Naomi Watts was more in love with Colin than Adrien Brody. They don't explain why they broke up when the third act begins. And then all of a sudden they just hug each other. It's not earned. I don't think that's earned. Because I think they don't really do a good job with the romance aspects in the movie, especially for the second and third acts of the film. Jack Black, I don't buy one bit of his performance. Colin's design, like I said, was never a favorite of mine. And, you know, excess. I mean, the Brontosaurus stampede scene I thought looked more ridiculous than novel or anything. And then that fucking ice scene. It just looks so silly and stupid and insipid. Trying like so hard to be so romantic and just like, what the fuck? Peter, the idea that, you know, you want to do a little bit of your flavor so it's not just a carbon copy. I get that, man. But King Kong, at the end of the day, was a monster movie. King Kong, if you want to turn him to the hero, I think Kong Skull Island did that a lot better. It didn't need 3 hours to do it. So that's my thoughts on it. King Kong 2005. If you love it, that's good. I don't ever want to see this fucking film again. See you guys later. Bye-bye for now.